What's up, everybody? I'm Maximus. These are my exposures, and I want you to come fly with me. So, today's the day. Big, big day. 7-8 hours, full neuropsychological battery of testing. Well, if I'm not nervous, I hope you guys are for me. Not because I think I'm gonna fail. It's a really long test, and there's a lot riding on this. Going for a class 1, first class medical. So maybe eventually, if I want to, I can fly commercially. That's really the big thing. The medical is going to dictate how far you go, as far as what's available. I was talking to my CFI, and to be a CFI, you need a third or a second class medical. Not a big deal. But airline transport pilot, gonna need a first class medical. So that's what I'm going for, and we will see. I got a good night's sleep. I'm well rested. I feel great. So I'm not really worried about it. I just know it's a really long test. Should get frequent breaks. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm on my way there now, and I'll catch up with you guys after I'm done.
So, a full 8 hours of testing. Neuropsychological Battery. Basically what it is they want to stress your brain. Kind of compared to as closely as they can, without actually getting into an airplane or a flight simulator. The stresses of what it's going to be in the cockpit, multitasking, a bunch of different things. So for starters, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Now, when I first got my TBI, they did some testing with me about a month after, and one of the first tests that they did was a complex photograph. So they show you a picture, and then what you have to do is you have to draw that photograph from memory. Now, when we first did this, I did not do very good, and that also frustrated me, because I knew at any other point I would have aced it. So that was one of the first tests that we started with this time, and it's been about 2 years since my TBI, and I passed it with flying colors. Now, a lot of that is, I've been doing things to kind of help my memory after that first 2 to 3 months after my TBI. Once my brain was healthy enough to start stressing it, I guess we can call it. I did a lot of Sudoku, a lot of puzzles, a lot of memory games, a lot of things like that, just to kind of help my brain get back to where it was before my injury. Now, the rest of the tests did a lot of that as well. They kind of want to go back and forth between, we want you to do it fast, or we want you to focus on accuracy. Like I said, there are a few tests that we want you to get it done in this allotted time, and maybe accuracy isn't a big portion of it. Well, they still want you to be accurate. It's not as important as getting it done in the amount of time. Now, there are other tests where they want you to be accurate, and how quickly you get it done isn't that big of a factor, as long as you get it done, in a decent amount of time. So yeah, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I'm very glad that I passed this test. It's an expensive test, and not passing it means I'm out that money, plus I have to come up with more money to take the test again. Now, another thing that happened was my doctor she kind of explained, you know, what the test was, what they were looking for in the test, and that's kind of to help anybody who has test anxiety. Because there are a lot of people who, you know, when they take tests, they get all anxious, so they do worse on the test. So she's there to help me through that. Now I don't typically get, you know, anxious on tests, but this test is a big deal. So yeah, I mean, that's really all that happened today. Went, took an 8-hour, you know, took a test. I'd say there were probably, you know, at least 15 different tests that they had me take. Some were on a computer, some were verbal, some were written. There was some, you know, there was some quick math stuff in there where you had to remember, like, they'd give you a math problem, you know, 1 + 2 is 3, but then you have to remember the last number that was added, and then they'll give you another number. So it'd be like 1 + 2, which is 3, + 5, so 2 + 5 is 7, and you just have to keep rolling with that. And they don't even tell you when they're done. So it's a lot of stuff like that. Now, if you guys have questions about the tests or would like to, you know, find some tests on YouTube, there are not really any out there. You might have a better time searching than I did. I think I was only able to find like 1 or 2 things on the test, but of course they do it so you can't practice for the test and, you know, try to inflate your scores. But at the same time, I think it would be kind of good to be able to see some of what those tests are, so you can kind of gauge where you are and whether or not you're ready to take the test. So that, you know, you don't go out that money and you wait longer and get better. But, you know, I mean, they try to safeguard things so, you know, people can't kind of go around the things they have in place to keep us safe, keep our passengers safe, and, you know, keep everybody else safe. But yeah, that's really it. That's what the test was all about. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, which is good. I was able to talk to the doctor after testing was completed. She was able to review some of the things and go over those with me, and she said she didn't see anything that should prevent me from getting my medical and getting back in the air. Now we just sit and wait. She's going to send off a copy of the results to my AME, and then I also asked her to send a copy of that to the FAA so they get it as quickly as possible. So now like I said, I'm just sitting and waiting to hear the official word from the FAA, but preliminary results look good. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. So when my next video is ready for departure, you can come fly with me. Later, Gators.